The tank-busting drone strategy the US uses to win over Russia. It's no secret that Russian tanks are only second to the US tanks, and in some situations, even better. And that's something that Ukraine is struggling with at the moment. However, there might finally be a solution that can end this war that's been dragging on for too long. Welcome to Drone Zone, the channel that brings you the latest, most exciting news and info about drones. In today's video, we talk about Ukraine's answer to Russian tanks, so make sure to stay till the end of the video to know how China is also joining the battle for drone superiority. According to the Pentagon, Ukraine will be taught to use Kamikaze Switchblade drones, which are single-use missiles that fly into their targets and detonate upon impact. The US is taking great care not to give Russia any reason to accuse it of escalating the Ukrainian crisis. Officials have also avoided answering questions about how they intend to train soldiers to use the billions of dollars worth of equipment being handed over to the country. According to Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby, Ukraine's military is unfamiliar with the Switchblade system. To address this, he stated that some training would be required. They are no particularly difficult systems that necessitate extensive training, says Kirby. According to the researchers, a human could be sufficiently trained to use the Switchblade drone in as little as 2 days, and the Biden administration has delivered an initial batch of 100 Switchblade Series 300 drones. These drones are designed to hit people and light vehicles with a warhead similar to a 40mm mortar. Also, the Switchblade 600 will be included in the most recent shipment of military equipment, according to Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. Each of the 50-pound drones has a range of 24 miles and can hover above a target for 40 minutes before crashing into it at 115 miles per hour with armor-piercing warheads capable of destroying an armored fighting vehicle or AFV. They've been compared to flying shotguns and were chosen for use in Ukraine due to their ease of operation and portability, with the drones being able to take off from portable tubes placed on the ground. A secret deployment of Switchblade 300s to Afghanistan to confront the Taliban in 2010 was deemed a resounding success, and the drones were later retired. According to Kirby's statement, the training consisted of a limited number of Ukrainians who were already in the country for standard military training programs prior to the Russian incursion on February 24th. He assured them that when they returned, they'd be able to train other military personnel. To avoid a direct confrontation with Russian troops, the US withdrew its military advisors from Ukraine prior to the invasion. The Switchblades are designed to hover over a battlefield and search for targets to strike with missile-like warheads built into the vehicles. They're small enough to be carried and handled by a small group of infantrymen or even by a single infantryman. Also, a single subscribe from you to our channel can make a huge difference, so please do if you like our content. Unlike conventional missiles, the Switchblade 300 weighs only 2.5 kgs or 5.5 pounds and can be carried in a backpack, whereas the larger and heavier Switchblade 600 model carries a payload powerful enough to destroy a tank for a tenth of the price of an equivalent conventional missile. AeroVironment claims that the two variants have flight times of 15 and 40 minutes respectively, and ranges of 10 and 40 kilometers depending on the configuration. They are virtually silent due to their electric engines, and both types of aircraft can be switched from pre-programmed flight to manual control using a tablet computer. They can also cancel and retarget attacks until the very last second of the battle. According to Beijing-based military researcher Zhou Chenming, the use of Switchblade 600s during the Ukraine conflict provided an opportunity to evaluate their capabilities against Russian tanks. Because the Switchblades are easily transportable, operational and concealable, they may significantly increase the firepower and assault range of small infantry squads, particularly in unconventional tactical applications. However, they, like small drones, are easily jammed or hoaxed, and the dependability of data governance and transmission is a major source of concern in a large-scale deployment scenario. It's estimated that at least 5 Switchblade-like drones have been developed in China by both state-owned and private companies. Since 2016, the CH-901, for example, has been on display at a number of defense exhibitions. It is the most prominent of these examples. The CH-901, designed by China Aerospace Science and Technology, resembles the Switchblade in appearance, with wings and a tail that folds inside the launch tube and inflates after the rocket is fired. It can be operated from individual tubes in the ground or from multiple packs mounted on vehicles, depending on the configuration. The CH-901 is 9 kilograms lighter and only slightly shorter, measuring 1.2 meters in length than its predecessor, the Switchblade 600, which measures 1.3 meters in length and weighs 22 kilograms. The The Chinese drone can reach speeds of up to 150 km per hour and cruises at 70 km per hour. The Switchblade 600, on the other hand, has a top speed of 185 km an hour and a cruise speed of 110 km an hour. The CH-901 can be retrieved and used up to 20 times, but it is less versatile than the Switchblade 600, which can only be used once. As a result, it is more comparable to a standard drone. A photoelectric pod capable of conducting reconnaissance over a distance of 2 kilometers, as well as a longer endurance time of up to 2 hours, is also included. China's Guide S570 drone, which debuted at the country's major airshow in Zhuhai in 2018, is just another example of the country's cutting-edge drone technology. Wuhan Guide infrared S570 loiter munition resembles Israel's Hero 30 loiter munition in appearance. It has a 10-kilometer working range and an 8-meter lethal blast range. Because of its infrared and optical navigation systems, the 7-kilogram S570 can be launched at any time of day or night, in addition to being easy to transport. This aircraft has a flight time of up to 25 minutes. There's also the ZT-25, manufactured by Shaanxi Zhongtian Rock Technology Co., which is identical to the Hero 30 in appearance and specifications, with the exception that it can be fired from a large combat drone. Both the state-owned China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation and the privately held Norinco are well-known Chinese weapon manufacturers with their own suicide drones. However, despite China's advances in the drone industry, the Switchblade feels like a more refined, perfected weapon. A huge advantage to them is that once the human in command realizes that the weapon no longer has a target, he or she can order it to be called off and recovered, giving them a significant advantage over other weapons. The Switchblade 600 is equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery for extended use, according to the weapon's documentation. AeroVironment refers to the Switchblade as a tactical missile system, referring to the machine's extraordinary dual-role capabilities. Here's the deal: an airborne scout with the ability to be used as a weapon. In official terminology, this type of weapon is known as a loitering munition. Despite its appearance, this design has historical precedent. The Kettering Bug, an autonomous biplane created in 1918 that's considered a precursor to both drones and cruise missiles. It flew for a short time before an internal signal forced its wings to be released, and it crashed into the ground with its explosive payload. Lingering weapons are designed to fly for extended periods of time while scanning for targets such as anti-air missile installations and radar equipment in today's world of long-range reconnaissance aircraft. Even at its maximum endurance, the Switchblade 600 can only fly for 40 minutes at a time, whereas the manufacturer claims that the Switchblade 300's flight time is barely enough to qualify it as a loitering drone. They were dubbed Kamikaze drones or suicide rockets when first proposed and tested, depending on who you asked. When Popular Science magazine first published an article about the prototype Switchblades, it referred to them as flying assassin robots and kamikaze suicide drones. All of those titles emphasize a key feature of the genre. Once one of these weapons explodes, it can never be used or recovered again. The Switchblade is no different than many other drones when it comes to waypoint navigation. This includes someone plotting a route on a map and the robot taking off on its own after being launched. Unlike radio-controlled gadgets, says AeroVironment's Chief Marketing Officer Steve Gitlin, the operator simply specifies where he wants to see, where he wants the camera to be pointing, and the onboard computer flies the aircraft to that spot and maintains its goal. According to the manufacturers of our tactical unmanned aircraft systems, it's possible to latch onto a target and have the aircraft maintain its position on that target entirely on its own. Other software on the Switchblade, such as feature and object recognition, could help the weapon detect and track its prey. While not a fully autonomous weapon in the traditional sense, it is a weapon with autonomous capabilities that has the potential to change how people use weapons in the future. The US media expects these drones to be a game changer in the conflict, in part because Ukraine is losing so badly in the drone war. According to data provided by the Russian Defense Ministry as of early March, 78 Ukrainian drones had been shot down by Russian aircraft since the conflict began. According to Russian government figures, the Russian military reportedly destroyed 300 more Ukrainian drones in less than a month. If recent drone kill counts are correct, it could mean that invading Russian forces are gradually becoming more accustomed to Ukrainian drone tactics as they seek to consolidate control over Ukraine's eastern and southern provinces. According to the pro-Russian Donetsk People's Republic, or DPR, in eastern Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin declared a no-fly zone over the eastern Donbas in mid-March, causing international concern. Despite the fact that Russian drones like the Eleron 3 and Orlan 10 were conspicuously absent from aerial combat operations during the early stages of the invasion, the Pentagon claims that they are now playing an increasingly important intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance role as the battle progresses. That's it for today's video. Let me know if you think China can actually compete with US drones. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video just like I've enjoyed making it, and make sure to comment with any future videos that you're interested in watching. I'll be seeing you all soon, but until then, watch this video to learn how Turkish drones are helping Ukraine with Russian heavy vehicles. And as always, subscribe or crash.